Hello players, this is Friaza and I am playing Naruto Shippuden Ultimate in Storm 3 Roblox once more. Those of you who have checked my profile recently or my status or whatnot, or play the game regularly, will have noticed that the 50th character, Tsuchikage, has been added to the game. Not the fifth, thinking of the Fire Village. The third Tsuchikage Onoki, I don't know his last name, has been added to the game as the 50th character. So I'll be playing him today. I'm pretty proud of how he turned out. He has 6 hats. Funnily enough, most of them are actually a hair called Larry's hats. The beard, the mustache, the nose, and this one here are Larry's hats, and this is just a bow tie, and this is the common side swept guy's hair. But yeah, Larry's hat really is a very versatile mesh, but aside from that boring stuff, let's get on with this. So we've got Killer Bee over here, and a few R Narutos and Naruto, so it's going to be a Rasengan and Jinchuriki spam all the way for now. Let's see if we can clear the field of all these Jinchuriki. Oh god, all these Rasengans. Yeah, my favourite thing about his atomic dismantling jutsu is that I made it so that if the opponent dies, it stops the loop which injures them and instantly removes them from the field, so that you can actually completely remove your opponent from the battlegrounds using that jutsu. It's the only jutsu that does that. All other jutsu just leave their body there, but this jutsu will actually remove them if their HP falls falls to 0. But despite the looks, he's actually a defensive counter character with a wee rising wall of earth there, and then his Zejutsu is a medium ranged counter, kind of like Tsunade and Sakura Z, but at the same time different. And Earth Golem Jutsu, which always makes him run away, so I guess that's a counter but not a jutsu counter as such. It's more like an existence counter, countering the opponent's self by making them wary of coming towards you. Although it isn't that fast, it does pack a punch and blast them backwards, allowing you to set up a Jinton Genkai, or act as a shield. That would have hit me if that hadn't been there. And then it returns to a pile of rocks shortly afterwards. I do love that rising air follow. It's probably the best defense jutsu in the game in my opinion. Give it up, Naruto. Oh, barely dodged that. And he has full HP. Let's see if we can get some punches in. Although Tsuchikage doesn't have a kunai like the other Kage, excluding Danzo, because Danzo was the boss. Tsuchikage is powerful, but without the kunai, he doesn't pack a particular melee punch, so I tend to avoid getting into melee fights. As a kunai, it only does 4 or 5 damage per hit, but that does add up surprisingly, so I wouldn't underestimate its usefulness. So I avoid fights with characters with kunai in melee range, particularly if they have a sword. Although having said that, I just melee combo this guy and then get one bit of Rasengans without awakening. Let's get back into the action of things. Anyway, that's enough explaining the jutsu. I'm sure you've already seen it yourself. I just stopped both the Rasen shurikens, let it run into them both for 10 lulz. Oh, I only ran into one. What's with these sideways Rasen shurikens anyway? Is he doing them while flipping or something? Then I'm breaking these Rasen shurikens apart, probably making these Naruto's rage quite a bit. Apparently I'm annoying. I'm glad. If I wasn't annoying you, I would have failed. Oh god, that was perfect. These do about 24 damage each awaken, so usually I just hit them against one and possibly two, but there's those rare times when they somehow fall into 3 without reacting in time. Well, it's particularly easy to dodge unless you're like running into it with a jutsu. It does pack a punch. Oh, there's a lot of good opponents who can just swerve around all these shields and wreck you, so you can't rely on that too much in a skilled battle. I find that it's very hard to hit with particle jutsu when I'm awakened. It really just is luck of the draw, or maybe they don't feel. I mean, they feel more inclined to dodge it because you're awakened. I don't know. I want to hit with an awakened one once because it does like what, 90 damage. Not as much as Killer Bee or Naruto's awakened ult, but it certainly does pack a punch. Come on, get it. Give it up with the rest and shoot it because I'm just going to block them, although that one did get pretty far, it got a wee bit further than usual. Ow. Jeez. Once again, no matter how many characters there are, does it really matter when like 4 out of 5 people here are using Naruto anyway, so you can see why I find adding more characters pointless. Although yesterday everyone was using Tsuchikage as he was fairly new, but after that wears off, it goes back to the usual Naruto. Although I think part of the whole character thing is like, you don't want to use a character, but you find it fun to fight a variety of opponents. So I think it's more like the chance of other people using the character, which is pretty cool, because it is interesting like suddenly fighting Tsuchikage with Sakura and such, because you have a whole range of new possible matchups you can have. So, God, look at a war wave spam. Not die Kakashi. You can use water wave spam in hell. Not like I believe in. I'm saying some pretty controversial stuff here. Nope. Hashtag, hashtag, hashtag you. I wonder what that means. RNN. That sounds pretty illegible. Care to clarify that? I'll respond with you mad bro question mark to clear that up a little. Oh, I think I'll save this random Naruto. And he kills himself with an airfall anyway, that's fan-dabby-dozy. Before Earth Jutsu stopped range Jutsu, it was a real nightmare because a lot of the Jutsu wasn't cancelled due to like collision glitches and stuff blasting you off maps. So it was pretty annoying, like using Kakashi and stuff, and like not being able to block like any range Jutsu. But yeah, since that fix happened, it's been a lot more efficient using Earth Jutsu because it isn't just blunt and force. And as you know, lightning beats air, so Tsuchikage is no exception. If Sasuke runs up with Chidori, you better start dodging and using less shields because he can collapse your entire rising airfall. I really love like slamming them in the face with that wall, and then they just toddle on back. I use dynamic lighting for his ultimate, which adds a nice touch. I wouldn't want to use it for every jutsu in case of lag, but one jutsu is fine. I believe this jutsu deserves it, if any other.